We are back in the lab with another lantern project. And here we have a railroad lantern. This is a Dietz Vesta. You can almost not tell by looking at it. I mean, this is what a mess. This thing is a mess. Full of rust, full of holes, full of dents. Yeah. So it, I think might have been 1947, the date. Yeah. So I had gotten this, I don't know, maybe 3 weeks ago, and I have a couple other Vestas. I accidentally fell into adding Vestas to my collecting. I got one that was in great shape and it happened to be a bundle with something else. Then I found another one missing a whole bunch of parts and a whole bunch of broken things for next to nothing. And I found another next to nothing one that was junker. Ended up being in really nice shape. And then I ended up getting a lantern 2 weeks ago that had a weird looking burner in it. I'm like, boy, that burner looks familiar, but it's not for a regular kerosene lantern. Turned out to be a Dietz Vesta burner. Up here, I have 2.5. I got two complete ones now, and this third one here has somebody had electrified it. I patched up the bottom, and hopefully the tank will hold fluid. It needs a burner. That needs a burner, and this one has it, and it needs a globe. This one has it. That is, unless I get to the point with this. I mean, it's not like I'm going to throw out what's left of it. But as far as it sacrificing some parts, we'll see. I don't know yet. I don't know. We're not going to know. I actually thought that two of these other ones were going to be junk, and there's videos for them, and they're pretty fun. They're fun videos. So go check them out. Dietz Vesta. All right, let's check this thing out. What a disaster this is. I haven't done anything to it. All right, let's check it out. Right. All right, so let's take a look. Ooh, I actually have one that needs a bail. Oh, I bet you this bail hasn't been down in a really long time. Why would that go down? I don't know why it's doing that. Well, we'll figure it out. Okay. Oof. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, well, let's get this baby out of here. Okay, it had a little area for etching. Doesn't look like there's anything there. Can't tell if there's something on this side. I don't think so. I can't feel it. But this is a Corning CNX glass, and Corning made pretty much every Dietz Vesta globe. Yeah, at some point I will go clean that up and soak it in some CLR, probably. Yeah, and now, oh boy. Well, I was hoping to spare this burner. That's hard to say, judging by that mess there. All right, let's get this. Ooh, where's all that coming from? Oh, that's coming out of the air tubes. What is all that? Okay, well, let's go with this. All right, okay, let me. So the second I saw this thing, I'm like, I can tell that this thing had probably been living in a basement in a box on the floor for a half a century, in a basement that floods a lot. I mean, when I say a lot, over a half a century, 10 floods, an old house basement, and you can see the water line. See that curved water line there? So this thing sat submerged somewhere like that. Somewhere for a very long time. Look at that. You can tell in there. You can see. That's why it's so. Yeah, you can see the line here. The line goes across there, and comes up over here. So yeah, this is a SpongeBob lantern. Am I gonna be able to get that out of there? Oh, oh man. Okay, well, okay, we just solved the mystery of where all that crap was coming from. This fount is shot. Okay, well, I'm just gonna have to rip this out. Oh man, that stuff just went everywhere. What is that caught on? Oh man, look at all that. Wow. Oh my goodness. I see what's happening. Yeah, there's no way that. Well, holy cow. There it is. Okay, well. Jesus. Okay, so. Holy smokes. Wow. All right. Wow. Yeah, this is all sediment, man. It's all sediment from just water sitting down there in that tank for decades, probably. Wow, yeah, what another great. This is the kind of stuff that my bench grinder, which is right over here, throws up all through my house. Throws up, yeah. So, yeah, so all my nice, clean, freshly restored lanterns that are hanging right up there. I'll get a nice fresh coating of dust every couple days from me doing things here. Okay. Oh, holy moly, I'm gonna have to delouse this whole room after this thing. All right, so that was your fount right there. I mean, we know already it was full of holes, but the whole top is gone. And it's still connected to the burner. So we have to kind of determine how, if, oh man, because I need to be able to turn that enough to be able to pull this burner out. Looks like, okay, good. At least I know it's free from the lantern. There it is. Ugh. All right. The mess maker has been removed. Holy smokes. All right, let's reassess here. Of course, that's not going to work. All right, so That's where the burner's sitting, up in there. So that's just the bottom of the burner. I'm cool with cutting this off. I got more. All right, I just had to kind of wipe this down. That you see, I got orange hands. Okay, so I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to trim off some of this so I have better access to what I need to do, get underneath there, work on getting this burner out. I want to get underneath here, not in there. But I got a good access spot to throw some croil. All right, so I want these out of the way. And that. Oh, is it coming out? No. Okay. The dome came off. Okay. It's okay. I probably would have done that anyway to see what this madness is here. Oh boy. That's going to be fused. Oy. Okay, so we have this. This will clean up. Oh boy. So I'm going to hit this with some croil. Maybe let it sit for a while. You know, I hear great things about croil. I will be a believer if this croil does anything here. I could hit it from the bottom. And this croil is quite expensive, especially in comparison to all the other kind of WD-40 kind of things. But I think, actually, now that I think about it, I can maybe even cut it out over there. Yeah, because I have total access here, I can cut it out. Ooh, you know what? I might have a spare burner. Oh my goodness, I completely forgot. Let me check my small parts box. I think I have a spare burner. Well, oh, okay. Well, it's not a Vesta, but it's the same size. Damn. The wick, different size wick. And the bayonet's different. Nope. Got one for a traffic guard. All right. So, yeah, I think I can cut that. I think I have some Dremel cutting discs. Okay, let me hunt down a cutting disc, and I'm going to, in a sink, I'm going to go throw this in some CLR, clean it up, because I have something this will go in. Same one that wants to take this. Okay. Cutting discs and clean this up. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Or for you, it'll be right about. Okay, we have our cutting discs and our globe. is soaking in some CLR or a lime and rust remover. Let's see how well this works. This looks like it's uneven. Let's see if I can make it a little easier on the cutter. Get closer here. All right, I'm trying a new pair of real cheap. When I say cheap, I only paid $2 for them at a garage sale. I haven't tested them. Ugh. See if they work. So I'm gonna try to cut right down here from this little seam down to there. But I gotta be careful so I don't go cutting through. All right, let's try this out here. See what happens. I think we're through. Anyway. Oh, success. Well, I kind of went into that a little bit, but that's all right. I mean, really, that's all right. But we still have a problem of, oh yeah, that would have stayed in there a long time. Well, I'm going to put this in the rust inhibitor. Well, not inhibitor, rust removal. Okay, we're going to let this play in here for a while we work on the rest of the lantern and the globe. All right, well, I don't need that. You say, why is that still connected? But that's the top of the fount. That's the top of the fount that I just threw away. And this is the remnants of it. I certainly have no use for this thing. But who knows? Maybe I'll burn incense in it or something. Polish it up on the outside. Put a little JB welded on these holes. Just kind of peel it off like you're opening some kind of army ration. Or a can of Spam. There you go. Oh, geez, now I wrecked these things. Oh, up next on PBS, this old fount. Okay, now what I'm going to do to see the viability of this, and I think this is going to be fine now that I got that worst part of that out of the way. There's still some good stuff in here. So this there's no problem with. And it looks pretty bad right now, but it's going to look great when I'm done with it. In theory, unless I find other problems. But so I'm going to take this to the bench grinder and clean them up, and then we'll come in here and play some more. What do you say? What do you say? Let's do that. Okay, well, I tell you, I am not hating how things are turning out here. Yeah, I mean, I got at what I could get at, but it's looking a lot nicer. I mean, you know, probably a gallon of gasoline and a match would make this look nicer too. When we looked at it at the beginning of this video, yeah, look at that. Look at all those holes. Yeah. Let's do it this way. This is all the holes that were in that thing. Nice. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Hey. Turn that upside down. Well, you're going to have planets, not stars. Holy smokes. But anyway, yeah, that cleaned up. So maybe I'll just, crudely clean this up here. Maybe I'll tape it. Put some, oh, jeez. What can I even put on there? Good gosh. Okay, and this is interesting. I saw this when I took it out. I'm like, there's some weird markings on there. Maybe it, you know what that looks like? That looks like fake wood grain that was pressed into a burner cone, doesn't it? It's exactly like fake wood grain. But that could be tigering. It's what I call it when I see this metal or tin or whatever you want to call it. I've seen it on some lanterns. Much fainter than that, but I call it tigering, tiger stripes. Pretty neat. Yeah. I can play around on the inside of this thing with some of these junk bits. Oh my God. Wow. Well, I'm sure I found a good number of holes while doing that. Fresh ones. So I don't need an ashtray or anything, but, I do have this mortar and pestle, which I put some play sand in. I have a number of these. I collect mortar and pestles. Me being a chef, I have a number of them around. Yeah, maybe I should light one while I'm here. Some nice lilac smell. But maybe I could, this got play sand in it. Maybe I'll do it here, because this, even when the ashes fall on here, they kind of even bounce off here and go blink. So I can throw some sand in here, and we'll see. Okay, so we'll come back to that. I'm going to throw this one on and clean the inside of this a little bit. All right, so this lantern, this Vesta, I paid very little for it. It wasn't free, but I paid little for it, and which is cool because I got it for cheaper than just a new burner, or not a new burner, but a replacement used Vesta burner would cost me, and also got it for much cheaper than it would be to get a replacement Dietz Vesta globe. So yeah, so this is great. So I'm gonna have another working one. I'm just gonna need to find more parts. Parts. All right, so where can we play around now that I have the junk bit on here? Might as well play under here for a few minutes. I want to see when I can get up in those air tubes and get out some of that rust. I am going to go rinse it out with water. See what happens here. Okay. That was a fun experiment. I just went to check on the burner, and look, there's movement. That wick wants to come out. Okay, let's let that work a little longer. Oh, by the way, we never talked about it. New York Central Systems. You know, of course, back in the day at the birth of railroads, I mean, New York City, bam, they all went out of New York City. Every train in the America. So there's a lot. What I'm saying is that there are a lot of New York Central System lanterns. Well, at least I've seen a lot of them. Of course, I'm in New York, so that's kind of unfair. Wow, not a whole lot more to do here, except probably going over this with a nylon bit to kind of get rid of a lot of these brush marks. I call them brush marks, and that's just kind of the strokes, the brush marks from various tools using to get rid of the rust here. Kind of give it that tie-dyeing kind of look, but I'd like to make it more uniform. So we will, and steel wool will do that too, but it takes a lot of elbow grease. And it's gonna be really hard to get at any of this surface with this, aside from the large ones, like the air tubes and the top and everything. But in any case, that's where we're gonna start. All right. Well, killed that bit doing that. That's all right. That's why I got them in bulk. All right, well, I grabbed this thing out of the soak. And let's see if we can get this baby going. We've done it. We've gotten the wick out. How about that? All right, let me go put this on the big wheel, and we'll work on cleaning out that channel in there. Wow, look at that. Look at that. Oosh. Now, the good part is that seat where that goes down in would cover up all these holes. So that's good, including the little one that I made. Cut this thing off. and I can't really JB weld that or solder it because that needs to be a flush surface. So in any case, this is going to be functional, but questionable. I wish these pipe cleaners I have were a bit more heavy duty, then I would be plopping them in here. Maybe they might make something. I'm sure they do, a brush that small. But pipe cleaners are great because they're incredibly inexpensive and they're disposable. So I don't want to go buy a tool that would get wrecked in one use. Okay, well, I was going to get in here and clean this a little bit. Well, I mean, that's about as good as we're going to get, pretty much. You know, those wheels are still fighting me just a little bit. There's probably just lots of rust in here. Well, let's see how good a job I did cleaning this out. Maybe if I go down from the... Well, it feeds down there, no problem. Come on now. Well, it ain't pretty, but it's in there. We don't necessarily want a whole lot of wick either because there's a baffle. Now, what the heck is next? Maybe we throw some steel wool on this thing, and then we're going to discuss other lanterns and what to do with these parts and what to do with this. Okay. So here's the thing. So we have this, right? This is New York Central Systems, basically New York Central Railroad. This made in 1947. We have this, which was a past project. Also, New York Central. This is dirty, very dirty because, yeah, lots of dust in here. Yeah. But this is New York Central System, but this one was made in 1924. So this one's a quarter century newer than this one is. So what I think I would like to do, since the globe is kind of generic, it's not New York Central or nothing, so it doesn't necessarily belong to this. And by the way, this one I had to make the bail for it, and I didn't do too bad a job. I mean, if you look from far away, you can't really tell. But this was from an old 5-gallon bucket, so it's heavy duty. It's hard as hell to try to get them to bend. So, because like these have a lock, a bail lock, so that's sturdy as all hell. But you pinch it, then you can put it down. So that's what's cool. So the ones I made are still, they do that. So that's great. This is more spring steel, I think. Spring steel. Bruce Spring Steel. So what I'm thinking of doing is taking the burner, putting the burner on here. This, by the way, so this lantern here had, or this one, had been electrified. Somebody drilled a big old hole in that and screwed this all up. But this was all wrecked. You go back and look at the video, and if I could remember, I'll put a link to it down in the description here. So I cut out a piece of tin, and I JB welded it, and I JB welded a couple other holes that I found here. They were very small, but figured, hey, I got the JB welded out, might as well. So pretty sure this will hold fluid, no problem. So that's what I think. We're going to give this the globe and the burner. So this is complete. This is a 1924, and that's just so much older. I would rather have this all suited up rather than this 1947. But, I mean, this is going to stay around, and I will continue to look for parts. Because, I mean, I built this one and the other one purely out of parts from other things that I dug up. So yeah, so let's do that. And you see the 1924 had, some brass fittings and things. All right, let's see how this does. So this one, hey, my buddy here, is going to live another day. I mean, there's nothing wrong with this. There really isn't. Just got to get those parts in. This will be a perfectly functional. Still very old. I mean, this is 70-something years old. So, yeah. Okay, now good. This is a short wick too, because there is a baffle in here. So I know that there is an issue, a little bit of an issue with this burner. This here. Because I was having a little trouble getting that shape to accommodate another. Geez, I wonder if I can find a socket that is the same size as this burner and just kind of wrench it on there to kind of widen that out a little bit. Let's see if I can do that. Find a ratchet, jam it in there. Seriously, I mean, this was a no-go. This had a giant hole in it, and this was all spread out. Well, all right. Let's see here. I could see that little piece of lip right there. That was probably bent out when somebody cut this 100 times with a tin snip and then widened it out. All right, a couple more taps and we'll try it again. Come on, we just Almost there. Just a little more and it'll click. Come on now. Okay. We are on. Could be this that somebody modified to accommodate a light bulb. Really close. Well, I could get one to work, not both. Oh, yeah, that's what it is. Son of a gun. Okay. Accessibility is bad for doing this. Okay. All right, I got to put you way over there because I'm going to be swinging a hammer here. Even then, you may be in the way. Well, let's see here. Not exactly sure what shape this was. What these little rims looked like before somebody changed it. Ah. Okay. Now we have our globe that cleaned up beautifully. Beautifully. Nice. We are good. We are good. Nice. So if I end up finding another globe that's like New York Central, this one is blank. I mean, it's not blank. It says Dietz Vesta, which is what this is. But then I'll do a switcheroo and give this other lantern this one back. And that's just the way we'll keep doing it. And this will probably burn, but I'm not going to burn it. Not going to do it. Not today. Here we are, folks. I mean, this one looks better because it's less beat up, I suppose. But this one's 100 years old. 100 years old to the year. 100 years old. So, I am happy that this is complete now. Great. Some point, it's a long winter. Some point, I'll start burning a bunch of these things. Great. Okay. So, folks, in conclusion here, well, if I end up doing this, for burning incense in it or something, just watch my videos, and if I do it, you'll probably see it over here on the sidelines, keeping me company with some incense burning. So yeah, or maybe I'll make a video of me doing that. We'll see. Trench art, yes. All right, folks. So we are done. We did some successful things. Got a burn somehow. Got a burner to be complete. complete with ventilation holes. And we have another viable unit here that just needs help. It needs a fount, a burner, and a globe. That's all it needs. Now this has all those things, except for a proper bail. But, you know, from far away, you wouldn't even notice. Like where I have this hanging, you won't even notice. But now I gotta find where to hang this up. Here. As I always say, folks, I'll see you next time, and don't you go change it.
Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.